primarily, what was the primary thing? Drugs?
It was primarily drugs. And that's where it started. It started off with Ross Ulbricht growing mushrooms out in the wilderness of California and selling them. But really, his was more of a libertarian viewpoint. I mean, it was like, you choose what you want to do for yourself and do it. And the way Silk Road kind of had the anonymity is it used what's called Tor, or the onion router, which is an anonymizing function on the deep web. It was actually invented by the U.S. Navy back in the mid 90s or so. But it also used cryptocurrency. So it was the first time like we saw this birth on the internet of mixing cryptocurrency and an IP blocking software. So, in cybercrime, you go after one, the IP address and trace it through the network, or two, you go after the cache. And this one kind of blocked both.
Cache meaning the flow of money, physical or digital. And then IP is some kind of identifying thing of the computer.
It's your telephone number on your computer. So yeah, all computers have a unique 4-octet numbers. So 123.123.123.123, and the computer uses DNS or domain name services to render that name. So if you were looking for CNN.com, your computer then translates that to that IP address or that telephone number where it can find that information.
Ross Ulbricht was a young computer programmer who founded Silk Road, an online marketplace for illegal drugs and other contraband. Silk Road operated on the dark web, a part of the internet that is not indexed by search engines and is accessible only through specialized software. Silk Road was a huge success, generating millions of dollars in revenue. However, it also attracted the attention of law enforcement. In 2013, Ulbricht was arrested and charged with drug trafficking, computer hacking, and money laundering. He was convicted in 2015 and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ulbricht's case has raised important questions about the nature of freedom of speech and the internet. Silk Road was a marketplace for illegal goods, but it also allowed users to communicate and exchange information anonymously. Ulbricht's supporters argue that he was simply providing a platform for free speech, while his detractors argue that he was facilitating crime. The impact of Silk Road on the dark web has been significant. The site's success showed that there was a demand for an anonymous marketplace for illegal goods. This has led to the creation of other dark web marketplaces, such as Alphabet and Hansa. The dark web is a complex and ever-changing landscape. It is a place where criminals can operate anonymously, and it is also a place where people can exercise their freedom of speech without fear of censorship. The case of Ross Ulbricht is a reminder of the potential dangers of the dark web, and it is also a reminder of the importance of freedom of speech and privacy. Let's dive deeper into his life. Ross William Ulbricht was born in Austin, Texas, on March 27, 1984. He was a Boy Scout, attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. He attended West Ridge Middle School and Westlake High School, both near Austin, graduating from high school in 2002. Ulbricht attended the University of Texas at Dallas on a full academic scholarship, and graduated in 2006 with a bachelor's degree in physics. He then attended Pennsylvania State University, where he was in a master's degree program in materials science and engineering and studied crystallography. By the time Ulbricht graduated, he had become interested in libertarian economic theory. He adhered to the political philosophy of Ludwig von Mises, supported Ron Paul, promoted agorism, and participated in college debates to discuss his economic views. Ulbricht graduated from Penn State in 2009 and returned to Austin. He tried day trading and started a video game company. Both ventures failed. He eventually partnered with his friend Donnie Pomertree to help build an online used bookseller, Goodwagon Books. In 2010, Ulbricht moved to San Francisco to work as a computer programmer. He became interested in the dark web, a part of the internet that is not indexed by search engines and is accessible only through specialized software. Ulbricht began to research the dark web and its potential uses. He also began to develop the idea for Silk Road, a marketplace where users could buy and sell illegal drugs and other goods anonymously. In 2011, Ulbricht launched Silk Road. The site quickly became popular, and Ulbricht began to earn millions of dollars in commissions. However, the site also attracted the attention of law enforcement. In 2013, Ulbricht was arrested and charged with drug trafficking, money laundering, and computer hacking. He was convicted of all charges and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ross Ulbricht is a complex and controversial figure. He is a brilliant computer programmer and a gifted entrepreneur. He is also a polarizing figure who has been accused of being a drug lord and a criminal. However, there is no doubt that he is one of the most important figures in the history of the dark web. The early years of the Silk Road, a notorious dark web marketplace, marked a significant turning point in the realm of online illegal trade and anonymity. Established by Ross Ulbricht, operating under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, the Silk Road emerged in February 2011, creating a hidden digital marketplace that thrived on the principles of privacy and decentralization. The Silk Road was not merely a hub for illicit transactions. It was a manifestation of the burgeoning potential of the dark web, leveraging the anonymity provided by the Tor network, which masked users' IP addresses. The marketplace facilitated the exchange of a wide array of goods, most notoriously drugs. Payments were made using the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, further ensuring untraceable transactions. In its early days, the Silk Road was a well-guarded secret, accessible only through the Tor browser. Its URL was shared through online forums, and among a select group of individuals who were in the know. The platform's underground nature was intentionally designed to evade law enforcement agencies and government intervention. Despite its secretive nature, the Silk Road gradually gained notoriety within the digital underground. Word of mouth, along with online discussions on forums and social media platforms, contributed to its rapid expansion. Vendors and buyers alike were attracted to the relative safety and anonymity it offered, compared to traditional street-level transactions. However, the Silk Road's rise to prominence also caught the attention of law enforcement agencies worldwide. An extensive investigation was launched by various agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The digital footprints left behind by Dread Pirate Roberts and others associated with the marketplace began to unravel the intricate web of criminal activities. Ulbricht's downfall began with a series of mistakes. First, he used his real name to create the Silk Road website. This made it easier for law enforcement to track him down. Second, he made a number of incriminating posts on the website's forums. In these posts, he discussed his plans for the Silk Road and his personal life. Third, Ulbricht was sloppy with his security. He used the same username and password on multiple websites, and he even used his real name on some of these websites. This made it easier for law enforcement to identify him. Finally, Ulbricht was arrogant. He believed that he was too smart to be caught. He even posted a message on the Silk Road forums that said, "The feds can't touch me." Ulbricht's arrogance was his undoing. In 2013, he was arrested in a San Francisco library. He was carrying a laptop that contained evidence of his involvement in the Silk Road. Ulbricht was eventually convicted of drug trafficking, computer hacking, and money laundering, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Ulbricht's story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of the dark web. It also shows that even the most sophisticated criminals can be caught if they make enough mistakes. Here are some of the major causes that led to Ross Ulbricht's arrest. He used his real name to create the Silk Road website. This made it easier for law enforcement to track him down. He made a number of incriminating posts on the website's forums. In these posts, he discussed his plans for the Silk Road and his personal life. He was sloppy with his security. He used the same username and password on multiple websites, and he even used his real name on some of these websites. During his trial, Ulbricht's defense team argued that he had created Silk Road as an experiment in economic freedom, rather than for personal gain. They emphasized that his actions did not necessarily equate to the crimes committed by users on the platform. Prosecutors, on the other hand, presented evidence linking Ulbricht to numerous illegal activities facilitated by Silk Road. The trial culminated in February 2015, when a federal jury found Ulbricht guilty on multiple charges, including money laundering, computer hacking, and conspiracy to traffic narcotics. In May 2015, Ulbricht was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge justified the severity of the sentence by highlighting the potential harm caused by Silk Road's operations and the need to deter others from similar criminal activities. Ulbricht's case sparked debates about the appropriate punishment for crimes committed in the digital realm and the broader implications of online anonymity and decentralized marketplaces. Supporters argued that the life sentence was disproportionately harsh, while others believed it sent a strong message about the consequences of engaging in illegal activities online. In conclusion, Ross Ulbricht's court battle, from the inception of Silk Road to his sentencing, offers a glimpse into the intricate intersection of technology, crime, and the legal system. The story continues to raise important questions about the regulation of the digital space and the complexities of administering justice in an era of rapid technological advancement. Ulbricht's case has had a significant impact on the dark web. Silk Road was one of the most successful dark web marketplaces, and its closure led to a decline in activity on the dark web. However, the dark web has since rebounded, and it remains a popular place for criminals to buy and sell illegal goods and services. Ulbricht's case has also raised important questions about the nature of freedom of speech and the internet. Some people argue that Ulbricht was simply providing a platform for people to engage in legal activities, while others argue that he was facilitating the sale of illegal goods and services. The case has also highlighted the tension between privacy and security, as the dark web allows users to remain anonymous. Ulbricht's legacy is still being debated. Some people see him as a hero who was fighting for freedom of speech, while others see him as a villain who was facilitating crime. However, there is no doubt that Ulbricht's case has had a significant impact on the future of the dark web is uncertain. It is possible that the dark web will continue to grow in popularity, as it offers a way for people to remain anonymous and circumvent government censorship. However, it is also possible that the dark web will be regulated more heavily in the future, as governments become more concerned about the use of the dark web for criminal activity. The case of Ross Ulbricht is a complex one, and there are no easy answers. However, there is no doubt that Ulbricht's case has had a significant impact on the dark web. His legacy will continue to be debated for years to come.